Welcome, Amakhosi Network. Welcome to the channel. Today we're chatting about a very important thing in that we need a lethal striker. Why do I say that? I was looking at the numbers of Collins MBESUMA the other day and I was like, yeah, man, Collins MBESUMA in one season for Chiefs scored 35 goals. 35 goals. Where have we ever seen that? And something hit a bell. And then I was like, you know what? Chiefs has all the ingredients to have a quality, to have a player who can score 35 goals. Why do I say that? Because Ashley Dupree is the David Khadebe that used to provide to Collins MBESUMA all those goals that he got. And another topic we're going to chat about today is Azizi. There are rumors that Chiefs will want him because he's going to be a free agent. But before we get into that, please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me jump to the Azizi one quickly. So, guys, with the Azizi one, a lot of you have been like, yeah, Kaizer Chiefs is going to buy you Azizi. Azizi is going to be a free agent. And I'm going to tell you guys now. I am saying, whoa, guys. Whoa. Don't get excited for this player. No. What is my problem with Kaizer Chiefs right now? Azizi is better for Orlando Pirates and he's better for Sundowns. A lot of you are going to be like, why? What is wrong with this guy? And the reason I'm saying that is because they already have a good midfield. Azizi going to those teams doesn't make those teams better, but it adds a different dimension. Now you're going to tell me, no, but him coming to Chiefs makes Chiefs better. And I'm going to say this. It doesn't necessarily make Chiefs better. Why do I say that? Let me just read you Azizi's career. In Azizi's career, this guy has played, well, from the stats we can see from transfer market, is that he's played 91. He's a 28-year-old. He's played 91 games. He scored 11 goals and he has 4 assists. Now, because you guys watched him against Sundowns, you've already assumed that he's like a top scorer. He kills people. He like all of these things, and all of you guys have glamorized him and made him look like a superstar. And when I was watching him, I was like, Chiefs fans are going to fall into the trap of getting excited for a player who had a good match or who was on like some sort of form. And then we're going to sign this player. And then this player is going to find himself playing with players like Abomat, etc. And he will struggle when he plays with people who are struggling, Abomat and all of those things. And then the problem is going to come with this guy. He's 28 years old, meaning that he needs to find a team that is already established, because Chiefs does not have an established team and we can't think he's going to fix that team now. A lot of you are going to feel like I am confusing you, but this is what I mean. Chiefs right now is a broken team and we don't have the right kind of players. That's why I say we still need to replace players like Sitebe and Mad who are going to challenge for the number 6 position, etc. A lot of you guys were saying Azizi would be good for that, etc. I say Azizi would be good if we already had like a Tebogo Mokoena and we already had a maybe Modiba as our 2 number 8, or an Alende, or maybe even a Mendieta as a 2 number 8. Azizi would be good to add to that team. But you guys are going to bring Azizi and expect Azizi to go against Sundowns and to go against Pirates and fix all the problems that we have, and he won't be able to do it. He has shown that he is a decent player, but his numbers don't translate to goals and assists. And if his numbers don't translate to goals and assists on good teams, because he plays for Yanga, a good team, if his numbers don't translate to goals and assists on a good team, imagine what will happen to him when he gets to Chiefs and it's a pub team. So what you guys are now, basically, I'm sure what you're asking is like, so what is the solution? The solution is this. We need to identify players who are at least 2 levels above Azizi, and that won't be easy. But it has to happen because the solutions that Kaizer Chiefs needs, and I need you guys to hear me clearly, the solutions that Kaizer Chiefs needs to find the quality players that are going to almost be playing as 2 players in one. Because this current transfer window, if we get like 3 amazingly talented foreign players and maybe get Osuna Polis, that is step 1. Meaning that we may bump into an MTN 8 title, but we won't be a final product. Then the next transfer window will happen in December. We'll add 1 or 2 extra players, whoever is doing well. That will bring us closer to maybe bumping into a Nedbank Cup as well. What Chiefs fans, what I want you to know is that if we had a good management, we need to rebuild a lot of things. And rebuilding means us going back to quality. We need to sign quality players. And just because you have a quality player, it doesn't mean you're going to win everything. Then we need to team up quality with quality coaching, quality technical teams. And then you create dominance. Dominance will be like, Chiefs may not have won the league in that season, but Sundowns Pirates, when we played them, I was telling baba, like you see Sundowns 3, City Pirates 3, what. But maybe we drew too many games here, or maybe we made 1 or 2 mistakes, or maybe we don't win the title. But we can see the plays going, etc. That is what Chiefs needs. And that's why I'm saying, you guys have the right intentions with Azizi, but we can't waste the foreign spot with a player who has that little contribution towards goals and assists. We need to add a player who is already efficient in adding goals and assists, and he's basically 2 players in one. We need to really invest in this. Let me jump quickly to the Dupree being the David Khateb. If you guys didn't watch MBESUMA back in the days, but what happened is that back in the days, David Khateb used to be a crazy fast player. And what would happen is that David Khateb, I'm sorry to say this if he ever hears it, but David Khateb, what we all knew about him is that, to score a goal is very difficult. Like, we used to be like, David Khateb in Como. I'm sorry to say that, but it used to be a fan consensus, or what fans used to believe. Good, David Khateb in Como, but Gijima, like, to run, he will outrun Nonke. Like, he's an engine. He's a hard-working player. But who does this remind you of? Ashley Dupree. In terms of scoring, Ashley Dupree in Como. Like, we have to be honest. He struggles. It's not what he's good at. And even if he does get a striker coach, his goals will go up, but he will never be that lethal striker that you want. So in saying that, what happened is that David Khateb was at Chiefs being in Como. We couldn't rely on him, but he was like crazy fast, and then he would score goals now and then. But then what happened is that Chiefs signed Collins and MBESUMA. And then you know what happened? David Khateb would go be a bullet, outfinish defenders with all that pace. Sometimes he would be one-on-one, shoot, and then the keeper would save. And then what would happen? Collins MBESUMA would come as a tracker and Shayama tap in. He would come and Shayama tap in. Or he would fall, he would anticipate David Khateb's runs, run and get a tap in. Because David Khateb would beat people with pace, see Collins, sharper, Collins tap in. And all of those things. Meaning what? David Khateb, him as a player, found another player who could complement him. And what happened is that Collins MBESUMA used to eat all of the food that David Khateb decided that he and I is going to drop on the floor. Because he was dropping a lot of food on the floor, but MBESUMA was eating conk. That is why MBESUMA looked so like Stula or so fat. He was eating all the goals that David Khateb was missing. David Khateb was Mkondo, MBESUMA was a tracker, big. David Khateb was eating all the food that MBESUMA was eating all the food that David Khateb was dropping on the floor. So MBESUMA bega suiting a goal suit. So that is what Ashley Dupree is. Ashley Dupree, hard worker. one of the fastest players in the DStv Premiership, but in front of goals, he's really not good. But what happens is, imagine you just had that striker who will just be sniffing around the box, always looking for the ball, and who is powerful and who knows where to position himself. All these misses that Dupree has, imagine someone was there just to pick up those scraps or to be there for Dupree to pass for a tap-in. And that is what Chiefs must look for. Chiefs must not look for a striker that is like slow, like Abopimenyimana and Ranga. They need to have a very fit striker, a very pacey striker to keep up with like Dupree's pace, but also like somewhat strong striker who can also hold up one or two players, but one that likes being in the box. That is the striker we kind of need. Obviously, I'm not gonna say I rate the striker, but an example of this is what Tsegofatso Mabasa is doing. Tsegofatso Mabasa is like a quick player and is like a strong player. He has a good jump on his headers and all of those things, and he loves the box. So what happens is that Abo Relebogile Mfukeng and Abo Saleng and all these fast players do all the dirty work, and Mabasa just finds himself in the box, in the right place to hit tap-ins, to bulldoze a player, etc. And that is what Chiefs is lacking. We're lacking a lethal striker. We're lacking a striker who's going to pick up the scraps. Sometimes your team may not be playing well, but one shot on target and that keeper just has to, one mistake, pushes the ball into MBESUMA's direction. We already know, goal. You see, that's what we need. That's all I have for today. Now, what do you guys think about this connection that I have figured out? Ashley Dupree is a David Radebe.